Okay, today I'm going to talk about trying to convert this FLIR camera here into a video camera. Now the FLIR is a pretty neat device. It can see thermal images, and it has so you can look through there and see objects in the dark, or let's say you put your hand on the table or something like that because your hand is hot, and you can see your handprint on the table. Okay, but it can't take videos though. It can take stills, and it's a pain to get the stills off because the company wants you to go through their proprietary software and such. And so what I'm going to do is try to, I have a, what is this guy? Eken, it's like a GoPro clone, and I just want to, he can take videos and stills. I want to mount him a certain distance away so that I can, let's refocus this guy, mount him in front of the FLIR like this, and just take videos and images, and well, you can't even take videos with the FLIR, and make some kind of permanent mounting. So what I have here is one of these Chinese takeout containers, very cheap, and I'm planning to cut it down because it's big enough to fit over and around where the image is, and then I can cut a little hole in the end maybe to position our little camera here exactly where we want it, and it should be very sturdy, and it has all this material around the sides, and the circle is very strong, especially when you support it from all sides like that. And so it should be something you can take out into the field and use to maybe ghost hunt or look at images that are thermal images, look at your house, whatever. Take it out in the woods, whatever you want to do. And so let's see if we can do that. We'll try to cut this down to about the right length, and then mount our camera to it. Okay? Okay, so the first thing I want to do is try to figure out exactly, approximately, we'll say, how far we want to mount this. Now, I like the Eken. It's got a fisheye, which distorts the image. I don't like that, but it can image things very closely, and you don't have to focus it. And so it should be no problem. Okay, using this with the camera, but we want to make it so the image, let's take a look down here. I want to make sure that the image kind of fills up the camera as much as possible. You know, if you're too far away, the image gets small. If you're too close, you don't see the whole image. And I might be able to de-fisheye it with some kind of so if you're too far away, the image gets small. If you're too close, you don't get the full thing. But it is fisheye, so I might be able to use some software and try to de-fisheye that. But let's measure the distance and see how far away it needs to be approximately to get a good image. Okay. So here we are, and well, I guess we'll use centimeters. Okay, and I'm going to measure to the front of the camera because I'm going to cut a hole. So it looks like about 5 centimeters. Okay, we'll remeasure that again. So 4 to 5 centimeters about. And it's got to be a little bit off-center too, to this side, because the lens is not in the center of the camera, so it's got to be off-centered like that compared to the FLIR camera. So we'll try 4 to 5 centimeters. We'll try drawing a line around this and cutting it off. Okay, so you know, if you're an engineer or designer or machinist or whatever, you know, you want to start bigger, because even if you're a hair cutter, right? If you cut too much off, then you can't go back. So I'm going to start with about 5 centimeters, and start marking it around here, measuring from the top, and we'll just mark around and make a circle here. It's 5 centimeters, and then if it's too much, we can always cut it down a little bit. Okay, I'm just looping my finger around there so it stays a constant distance. And okay, so we have a line all the way around there. Looks good. Have to find a razor blade or something. I'll try to cut that. Okay, how fortunate. I was up in the attic of this house, and someone left some razor blade knife up there, and so I saved it. And oh, I guess it's getting pushed in by itself. I want to make a hole in this guy. Start cutting around. Okay, there. So we got the knife through. And we'll just start cutting around this. Be careful. Be very careful. These things are super sharp. You don't want them to slip. When you're working with sharp tools, you always want to keep things under control. I'll just kind of work this thing up and down. Jab it in, I guess. Try to cut around the outside in a circle. And let's just continue to do that. Seems to be working okay. I don't think I'm making a continuous cut, but I'll try to come back and finish it off. Okay, so just kind of going around and completing all the cuts. Be very careful with this. Okay. If I get some scissors, I can cut it the rest of the way. Okay. Okay, and there we go. We have our mounting fixture. Oh, I guess it cracked a little bit. We can always tape that. Okay, and it looks like that'll fit right over the FLIR like that. And let's see, possibly be a good distance for this guy. Maybe I'll have to mark on there about where the lens goes. I guess the lens would go in the center, right? Why not? So maybe I'll just cut a hole right in the center there. And that's where we come out our lens. It should be right in the center, right? Okay. So let's cut this little dimple thing out. It's about the right size. And see how our device works. Okay, so I'll just draw a little circle around here so it's easier to see. I'll just try to cut right around this center thing. We should have a pretty strong mount to mount our GoPro-like camera, or Eken, or however you say it, camera into this guy. Okay, so it's a little bit stronger here. Hopefully the knife doesn't break and cut my fingers. So let's try going around and cutting this the same way we cut the other thing. Just jab it, work it down through. Okay. And we'll work on that for a little bit. See if we can get that hole cut in there. Okay. I didn't cut all the way around, so. Okay. If I get some scissors, I can cut it the rest of the way. Okay. Okay, and there we go. We have our mounting fixture. Oh, I guess it cracked a little bit. We can always tape that. Okay, and it looks like that'll fit right over the FLIR like that. And let's see, possibly be a good distance for this guy. Maybe I'll have to mark on there about where the lens goes. I guess the lens would go in the center, right? Why not? So maybe I'll just cut a hole right in the center there. And that's where we can mount our lens. It should be right in the center, right? Okay, so let's cut this little dimple thing out. It's about the right size. And see how our device works. Okay, so I'll just draw a little circle around here so it's easier to see. I'll just try to cut right around this center thing. We should have a pretty strong mount to mount our GoPro-like camera, or Eken, or however you say it, camera into this guy. Okay, so it's a little bit stronger here. Hopefully the knife doesn't break and cut my fingers. So let's try going around and cutting this the same way we cut the other thing. Just jab it, work it down through. Okay. And we'll work on that for a little bit. See if we can get that hole cut in there. Okay, so let's kind of finish cutting out this circle here. Oh, there we go. Okay, there we have a perfect little camera mount. We can put the lens right in the center there. Okay, well, let's test it out. Okay, let's try putting everything together. We got our handy dandy camera holder here, and our little camera, and our FLIR camera, and I grabbed a rubber band. You could probably tape these things on, but rubber band's easy way to take it off and put it back on quickly. And there's the side view of it. And maybe I can move the rubber band up so it doesn't interfere with the picture. I think looks pretty good. We got the full picture there. It's not too fish-eyed. Hopefully it's got enough resolution to be able to look at stuff. And there we go. Our adaptation for taking video images with a FLIR camera. Okay, it's our heat lamp, and let's turn the heat lamp on. Okay, and the temperature is, let's look right into there, 345 degrees. Okay, anyway, this is Dr. Janes, and thanks for watching.